Shalom. As always, all praises, honor, and glory goes to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rukaha, Kodash, and double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to the elect scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. And as you see here in the title, can AI have a soul? The answer will shock you. Before I play this video, I'm going to say no. The answer is no. But we're dealing with, Edomites, so-called white people. They have a God complex. And what I mean by that is that they feel superior, invincible. They feel like they can do anything. They can do the things, recreate the things that God has found left on the earth. The powers have left, the foundation that has been built, created, and left. Certain things, they have it in their spirit to replicate, or do it in their own way. They don't care about other people's needs. They're very controlling. You know what I mean? So it's an infatuation with being like Jacob, or being godlike, or being like the Most High, because you cannot create a soul. A soul is not something that humans can create, right? So let me play a couple minutes of this place, read some precepts, and play a little more.
Dr. Cutter, what is the AI ensoulment hypothesis?
So the AI ensoulment hypothesis, it's a hypothesis that I discussed in a recent paper, a forthcoming paper in Faith and Philosophy, is just the hypothesis that some future AI systems will have souls. They will have immaterial souls of the same kind that you and I have.
What should we think about the AI ensoulment hypothesis? Should we believe it? Should we withhold belief? What do you think?
So what I argue in this paper is that we should take it seriously. A bit more precisely, what I argue is that we should have at least a middling credence in the AI ensoulment hypothesis. Middling credence means a degree of confidence that's not very low, or at least a middling credence means that. And so what I argue is, we should have at least a middling credence in the AI ensoulment hypothesis, conditional on two assumptions. Those two assumptions are, first, that substance dualism is true for humans. That is, we are somehow composites of body and soul. And second, that we will eventually create what AGI is the term I used, by which I mean something that kind of can pass behavioral tests for human level general intelligence, and that also functionally resembles, at least at some suitable level of abstraction, processing within a human brain.
Okay, a lot of things in there. When you say we should have at least a middling credence in the AI ensoulment hypothesis, in the paper, I think you say it's hard to put an exact number on this, but roughly something like at least a 25% level of confidence. You could have drawn the line at 20%, but
I would stand by that number. Somewhat artificial to give an exact number, and I wouldn't know how to do that, but I think, conditional on those two assumptions, the truth of substance dualism in the human case and the assumption that we'll eventually create AGI, I would say that we should be, 0.25 credence or higher.
You spend the bulk of the paper giving two arguments that we should have this middling credence in.
No. So he mentioned the word, ensoulment. Let me just add hypothesis to this. So, bear with me. Fucking Google. Alright, brother, he does. Alright, so it really means so ensoulment hypothesis means that the ensoulment occurs whenever a physical system is fit to possess a soul, where very roughly this amounts to being physically structured in such a way that the system can meaningfully cooperate. This is not the one that I wanted, so let me read it from my laptop. So it says, ensoulment hypothesis is the idea that a soul enters into a body and the timing of this varies between different religions and philosophies. The hypothesis is also the subject of the AI and Solomon hypothesis, which suggests that future AI system may have souls, which is incorrect. It's like Esau discredits or loves to discredit everything that Yahweh Shemi Yashai has done. Talking about a soul as if it's a simple, non-complex idea or creation, right? The spirit that is within Esau, comes from Yahweh. First and for Yahweh Shemi Shai, comes from the creation of the first fruits of the spirit. So it's like he doesn't even understand that everything that he's merely a tool. Everything that these Edomites have done is by the will of Yahweh Shemi Shai. By the movement and the controlling of them, leading their steps to do the things they do, because they're the basis of men. There's nothing special about these Edomites. It's first and foremost prophecy, and also in the prophecies is there's punishments to the Israelites, and we're subject under these Edomites. These Edomites rule in wickedness, in opposition to what's righteous, opposition to Jacob, corrupting Jacob as well, along with doing that, oppressing Jacob, having these type of ideas and philosophies, being deceived. So the first precept here I'll read, the point is in verse 4. I'll start here. It says, I'll start at 2 Thessalonians verse 2, chapter 2, verse 2. It says, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first. And that falling away happened already, when the nation of Israel, fell away from their ways. They were destroyed. The Heavenly Father was not dealing with us for a time. And that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. And that man of sin is Esau Edom, the devil that the Bible speaks of, these so-called white people, these so-called white men, women and children, right? And it says, verse 4 is a point, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God. So he, because of the blessing that he has right now, because of the earth being given into his hand, referring to Job 9:24, he is puffed up. He has that God complex. He thinks he's above, as it says, all that is called God, or that is worship, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. And he's done this, with Christianity, going back to the Borgia family, painting, an image of his son, the Pope painting an image of his son, and appearing, having the appearance that, the association that these Edomites are, the image of God. And also today, the temple, you can also, label their temple, their labs and their, facilities that they conduct these type of things, AI and different creations that, Yahweh Shemi Shai has put the spirit on these Edomites to do. Because ultimately AI is going to be one of the main things, a part of the framework of the mark of the beast. AI is going to be like one of the first means of communication. AI is going to have the information, of different people. You scan, when people get the C-hip inserted in their hands, or in the Neuralink or Synchron in their head, AI will be able to scan that and bring up different information, or speak to you from an ATM or whatever it may be, because they're gonna pretty much, the point of what I'm trying to make is that they're gonna pretty much remove human contact for the most part. Remove humans from certain jobs. AI is what's gonna take over. Because that's the world that we're geared towards. Nonetheless, let me read a little more. I mean, not read. Let me play.
The AI and Solomon hypothesis. But before we look at those arguments, I think I want to try and hook people here and get them to care about this. Why should anyone care about the AI and Solomon hypothesis? Somebody might think, so what? What would you say? How do you make this seem important enough to think seriously about?
Yeah. So one obvious point of significance might just be the kind of moral implications of it. If we're only concerned with how the future AI systems are going to treat us and whether they're going to be dangerous to us or helpful for us or whatever, then we maybe don't care about whether they're conscious, whether they have a soul, what's going on in their interior lives, if they have interior lives. But if we're interested in the questions of how we may legitimately treat these systems, then it's plausible.
I'll stop it right there and get a next precept. It's just crazy to hear these Edomites talking about AI, like their create, which in a sense, but like it's a human. So this is their form of creation. Trying to mimic what Yahweh Shemiel Shai has done. Because how can you sit here talking about a computer generated software development as if it can possess a soul or a consciousness? It's not a living thing. It's information that man has put out in the world or on the web, on the World Wide Web, and they just pool all of this information. And there's certain type of codes that these developers or whatever their title will be, the ones that create these things. He is talking about AI as if it's a new species, of humans. So this is really an example of them showing you, blatantly that, hey, we are like God. We're creating things like God, and this is better because AI is smarter than humans. That's pretty much what they're saying, or he's saying here. Which they're deceived. So this is Psalm 73, verse 6, and it says, "Therefore pride compasses them as a chain, violence covereth them as a garment. Their eyes stand out with fatness. They have more than the heart could wish." The earth has been given into their hands, so they have everything at their disposal. That's why they're so privileged, proud, see nothing wrong in what they do. God complex. They are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression. They speak loftily. They don't care about, the oppression that they have caused upon the earth. And verse 9 says, "They set their mouth against the heavens, and their tongue walketh through the earth." Yeah, their tongue walketh through the earth, saying proud things like this, talking about, what's the thing that they would, something 2030, which I can't remember right now. They have all these plans that they're planning to do, these events and things that they want to happen. This is a video I came across as well. It says the next 20 years will be mind-blowing. Like, in their mind, their house is going to continue forever. They're going to continue doing wickedness. Verse 10 says, "Therefore his people return hither, and waters of a cup are wrung out to them. And they say, how doth God know? Is there knowledge in the Most High?" So this is the spirit of these devils, man. They question whether or not, the Most High is even real. If he knows these things, they're puffed up, in what they're doing, which is funny. You know, let me get there's a few more precepts I want to read. uh I think, so let me get Isaiah. I think it's 10. So Isaiah chapter 10, verse, '15, and it says, "Shall the axe boast itself against him that heweth therewith?" Right? Can the axe, tell, the possessor, or the creator of the axe what to do? You know, or shall the saw magnify itself against him that shaketh it? As a rod should shake itself against them that lift it up, or as if the staff should lift up itself as if it were no wood. Right. So it's a rhetorical question, man. And Esau is a tool. Esau is a sword of the Most High. The Most High uses, Esau to execute a lot of things, judgment, and so on and so forth. He created the smith, and the smith is Esau Edom, because his blessing is a sword, and the sword is what's gonna destroy him. You see how, powerful Yahweh Shemi Shai is. His own blessing is what's gonna contribute to his destruction. Let me see what else I have here. I got which precept I want to read. So I want to get Ecclesiastes, because this talk about the soul, it's very disrespectful to talk as if they can create a soul, and that's something that belongs only to, the spirits, the those spirits, the Yahweh first and foremost, and the first fruits, Yahweh Shai on down, the company that was with Yahweh Shai, when in Genesis, when Yahweh Shai said, "Let us, create man in our image," right? So it's not something to be. It's just the pride of these devils, and that's why, going, as Obadiah 1:18, chapter 18 says, Obadiah, sorry, not eight chapter, Obadiah chapter 1, the whole chapter, speaks about the destruction and the perishing of Esau forever, because his spirit his spirit is not upright, man. It's opposite to Yahweh Shemi Shai, And let me get this first before I get the Ecclesiastes. This is also on my mind. This is Psalms chapter 2, verse 1. It says, "Why do the heathen rage, and the people imagine a vain thing?" And this is just one of the things that these Edomites are imagining. They don't see a future for them in captivity, and they, Elon Musk been saying certain things. He knows the destruction is coming, but he doesn't understand that he's going to be in chains. He's going to be in slavery, as it says in Revelations, right? So let me get back to Ecclesiastes. These devils are wicked, man. No reverence, no honor to Yahweh Shemi Shai. Nothing at all. They talk about these things as if it's whatever. It's nothing. Oh yeah, AI is gonna have a soul. How are you going to put a soul in AI? They do have, plans to merge man with machine and things like that. Maybe create cyborg type men, or try to do that, but you can never put a soul in a computer, in AI, you know. So this is Ecclesiastes 12 verse 7, and it says, "Then shall the dust return to the earth as it was," right? Because the dust was created, in the foundation of the earth, the elements, and it says, "The spirit shall return unto God who gave it." So Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, is the one that creates and gives spirits and places spirits into different flesh, different time periods, different generations. You devils have no power to do this, right? It's just pure wickedness and blasphemy to talk about these things as if, that's why we wait. We can't wait for you devils to be eliminated, man. So this world can be run in the right way, in righteousness, and in honor, and holiness, and giving all praise and honor and glory to Yahweh Hashem Shai, not puffing up, the stupid base people such as Edomites and the things that they do, creating Teslas, creating iPhones, creating AI. Trump, people bigging up Trump because he's speaking on shit that should be anyways. Now there's only two genders. It's always been that. This is the type of world we live in, man. With wicked rulers, that prey over the weak. So let me play a little bit more, a minute more, and then I'll close.
Possible that their ensoulment status is relevant. So if you think that the fact that humans have rational souls is somehow relevant to how we ought to treat them, some connection to the fact that humans have certain moral status, certain moral rights, then it's plausible to suppose that AI has a similar ensoulment status, then they might have a similar kind of moral status. Yeah, similarly, if you think that ensoulment is a kind of precondition for consciousness, and you think that consciousness is relevant to the moral status of an individual, then this is going to be relevant to the question of how can we treat future AI systems if and when we achieve this kind of AI status. Can we treat them like slaves? Can we turn them on and off at will? I think if they are mere things, if they're completely unconscious, if they have no souls, then yeah, we should use them for human purposes. We don't need to accord them any particular respect. They don't have any special moral status. We can treat them as we'd use any useful tool. If they have like rational souls, if they're phenomenally conscious, if they have the kinds of mental capacities distinctive of human beings, then I think they would have some kind of moral status. That I think is the main relevance.
I think that's enough for now. You actually mentioned both early on in the paper and then briefly at the end several other implications of the AI ensoulment hypothesis, but I'll leave that for the view.
I'll leave it there, man. This devil really believes that AI will have a soul, or consciousness, and that's just a pure example of that God complex that these Edomites have, the jealousy, that they have towards Jacob, subconsciously they don't really know. Most of these Edomites don't know, but they're jealous. They want to feel like gods. They want to feel. They want to be Jacob. And that's just what it is. That's why they do the things they do. That's why they try to take everything that Jacob has done on this earth and claim it to themselves. That's why they're trying to even mimic, the works of our power. So this I'll close with this, because this is what's coming with Esau. This is Isaiah chapter 66, in verse 16, and it reads, verse 15, Slaki, it reads, "For behold, the Lord Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai will come with fire and with chariots like a whirlwind to render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flames." Verse 16, "For by fire and by his sword will Yahweh plead with all flesh," and all flesh AI is gonna burn with it as well. the fake soul consciousness that you're trying to portray, and bring into existence is going to be destroyed. The slain of the Lord shall be many. All of you devils, all of you wicked Israelites that cling unto these devils, you shall be thrust through as well. So with that, as always, all praise, honor, and glory goes out to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham, Rukah Kodash, Shalom, Abad Babal.